I want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas, but I also want to share with everyone this Christmas list that was prepared by my 7-year-old son, Preston, and given to my wife and I to deliver to Santa Claus. So here is the envelope. Actually, you'll notice I spilled a little coffee on it the other day, but I wanted to read you the list in its entirety. A lot of people who follow me may not have any children of their own, so they may not know what 7-year-old boys are wishing for Christmas. So this is the list that Preston prepared. This is what he wants Santa Claus to bring him this Christmas. So number one on his list is a vector robot. Number two is the PlayStation 5. Now, Preston already has a PlayStation 4, so this would be an upgrade for him. Number three, he wants a Minecraft game for the PlayStation. And that's good thinking on his part, because if he gets a new PlayStation, he clearly needs a new game to go along with the new PlayStation. Number four on his Christmas list is Hot Wheels. But now, here's number five. And remember, this is the fifth item that he's wishing for. This is not number one, this is number five. So it's really not that high on the totem pole of things that my son wants Santa to bring. Number five is $100 trillion, real cash, right? Not $100 trillion in pretend fake cash, because after all, Preston knows the difference between monopoly money and real money because he has a Monopoly set. Now, unfortunately, there's not that much difference between Monopoly money and real money these days. But whatever the difference is, Preston understands it, and he wants the real stuff. In fact, he didn't actually ask for 100 trillion. I rounded down. If you read what he wrote, he wants 100 trillion, 200 million, 109. So he was very precise in the amount of money that he wants Santa Claus to bring. But this isn't the end of the list. I mean, you would figure that once you've asked Santa for $100 trillion, I mean, that would be it. I mean, what else do you need? In fact, if you're going to get $100 trillion, you really don't need a list. I mean, that's basically the only thing you need, because you could buy whatever you want if you have $100 trillion of cash. But no, Preston didn't think that was quite enough. He wanted some more stuff. So number six on his list is a cube Alexa. And number seven is another robot, a Cosmo robot. So that's it. That is my son's list. But the important point that I wanted to make, of course, is the $100 trillion, which is more money than actually exists in the world at this moment. But of course, my 7-year-old doesn't know that. He just knows that he wants to buy stuff. And so he wants Santa Claus to provide the money so he can buy what he wants. And you know, on an unrelated topic, but kind of similar, you know, my son is very into cars. As you can tell, you know, he's asking for Hot Wheels, but he particularly likes exotic sports cars. And so one day, Preston said, "Daddy, why don't you go buy a Lamborghini?" And then I said to Preston, you know, Preston, Lamborghinis are very expensive cars. And, you know, I don't really drive that often. I barely use my car. In fact, I'm in my golf cart a lot more than I'm in my regular car. So it really wouldn't be practical for me to spend so much money on such an expensive car that I rarely drove and just sat in the garage. And so Preston thought about it for a few moments, and then he said, "Hey, Daddy, why don't you just wish for it for Christmas? Because then if you get it as a Christmas present, well, it doesn't really matter what it costs because you got it for Christmas." See, because my son thinks that we can have whatever we want as long as we get it from Santa Claus. Now, of course, Preston's only 7 years old. The problem is a lot of grown-up Americans still think like a 7-year-old. See, except they don't think Santa Claus lives up in the North Pole. They think he lives in Washington, D.C. They don't think he's in a red suit. They think he wears a suit and tie. In fact, they think his name is Jerome Powell, not St. Nick. In fact, maybe Jerome Powell should grow a Ben Bernanke-style beard, because then at least he would look the part. You know, here is the problem, though. If Americans keep thinking that whoever chairs the Federal Reserve is Santa Claus, and they keep asking Santa to fill their stockings with all sorts of goodies, and they don't care what anything costs because it's all coming for free from Santa Claus. Well, if that's what's going to keep happening, then at the end of the day, $100 trillion may not be an absurd amount of money. In fact, you may actually need $100 trillion to buy a Cosmo robot. Anyway, that's it for now. On behalf of my 7-year-old son, Preston, and the rest of the Schiff family, I want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.